Okay guys, I've owed you this for a long time, but I wanted to show you how Content Shell, the software that runs on Rachel or any other Linux PC, works. So the general idea is that anything on OER2Go, which is the repository where we're hoping to store everyone's content and offline content, has all of the content that's available for download. So this is English, and then we sort by language. And this includes Kiwix content and learning equality content. So like Wikipedia here is a Kiwix package. And you can get a little preview of the package. You can understand the Creative Commons license. And you have some other instructions on how to download it. But real quickly, I want to show you how actually Rachel Content Shell software. Again, Content Shell can be on anything. We have installed it here on our Rachel device, which I'm turning on now. And then I'm going to plug this device into the internet. And this will enable me to do a lot of the functionality in terms of adding or managing content. So I've plugged it into the internet here. So now with my computer, I'm going to connect to the Rachel wireless signal. And it'll take just a second to pop up here. I'll give it a minute. And in the meantime, I can go back to OER2Go and just kind of show you there is African storybooks, which for us is like the pure HTML content that we've done through web scraping. And then there's what you would call the Wikipedia stuff. And then there's also the KA-Lite packages. And the KA-Lite packages here have the preview. And these all are designed to work with KA-Lite or Calibri. And we have them in a bunch of different languages. So Content Shell does all the work of integrating that content, so it has a uniform user experience. All right, and so let's see if Rachel is booted up. Here it is. I'm going to connect. And so it'll take just a second to connect here. It's looking for a internet signal. There we go. And then I will navigate to Rachel's homepage. So this right here is what we call Content Shell. You'll see there's no modules inside it. The modules, again, are hosted on OER2Go, similar to your guys' repository, but there's nothing here yet. And then the admin panel, you can log in, and this is where all of Rachel's administration happens. So right now, no modules are found. Normally, you'd be able to hide modules or move them around here. You get a brief overview of what the hardware looks like, how much space is still available. Do you want the Wi-Fi to be on and off, a shutdown and restart button. This is also going to do version control. So this you can check for updates to the operating system, as well as checking for updates to all of the modules that you have installed. There's a stats page, which will tell you what people have been visiting and how often they've been visiting it and what exactly they're looking at. And then most importantly, there's the install tab. So the basic install tab grabs a list here of all of the content which is available on OER2Go, and anyone, if they're connected to the internet, can install any of these things. So the first one I'm going to go ahead and do is just a really small one, Blockly Games, and I can click download. And now my Rachel device or any other device running Content Shell is going to download this package of content. And so you can get a little progress bar about how it's going and things like that. And this is running awfully slow. That's just kind of, I'm in a co-working space and our internet's not great, but it's done. So now Blockly Games is there, and if I go to the Rachel homepage and I refresh, you'll see Blockly Games has appeared. So the next thing I can do is show some of the flexibility. I've downloaded a really small Kiwix package. This is a version of Wikipedia that's on OER2Go, and right now it's going to download that version of Wikipedia, and it should be done. And so when I refresh the page here, I now have a version of Wikipedia. And so this is done by the Kiwix folks. And we add this little front page. So this particular content was this small Wikipedia BO language. It doesn't have an index search, but if it did, it would work. So then I can go back to the admin page. And this would, allow me to say that Wikipedia wasn't working. I can click hide, and I save my changes. And I come back here, and I refresh. It's no longer available for people to view. Similarly, I can just move them around if there are certain things I want to put at the top or feature more. And I can save it again, and we'll see it's back and it's at the bottom now. And the other thing that's great is here on the version tab, you can now do check for updates. So let me check for updates. And it'll tell me that everything is up to date. I'm not sure what's happening with this little Wikipedia package. It's brand new, so it's causing a little angst. And then on the stats, or the install page, I'm going to go and, oh, it's still downloading. There we go. That's why. So it's still finishing its download. It's just the bar that's messed up right now. All the other content is available in here. If I have a small KA Lite, I would try and show it to you. Yeah, those are pretty big packages. So Wikipedia is done, but similarly, any of these KA Lite packages, if you download them via Content Shell, they'll get installed and run and show up just like any of the other modules that we have here. So I'm going to add just a couple more modules, and you can stagger them so a few are waiting to load. The other thing that's great is you can use this little advanced button over here. And with the advanced button, you have a bunch of options in order to say, you know, I have a blank device and I want to put all of World Possible's English content on here. I want to put all of World Possible's French content, or all of our content related to prisons. And when I say World Possible, I do mean OER2Go. Or you can create a list and then upload that list. So the way that works is you would open a Word document or Notepad document, and I would go back and I can go on OER2Go, and I can say, you know, I really want some, I'm going to find some small ones here. This OLE Nepal, the group we're working with, actually that's pretty big. But oh well, so the name of the module is en-OLE Nepal. I would put it here and say, you know, you've got a standard build that you want to send to particular countries. It's also got book dash, en book dash. I can put it here. And maybe you also want to add something in Spanish. And so I will go back and I'll look at Spanish. And we have a new World Possible module. That's pretty cool. We built a MOOC for how to use Rachel, and we'll put that in here also. So you can have a bunch of these, what we call modules files. And I'm going to save this as bsf.modules. And I'm going to save it in the Jeremy folder, bsf.modules. So now, when I go back here, I'll have the Advanced tab, and I can choose this file, which we want to use. Jeremy, where is bsf.modules? Let me go home. There we go. So BSF, I'm going to open that here. And then you can choose whether you want to download from our internet repository, or if you were offline and you wanted to download from another Rachel device in a community, or if you wanted to keep your own copy of OER2Go locally, you can, if you have 4 terabytes of storage, you can keep a copy of OER2Go locally so that you can build these devices really quickly yourself without ever using the internet. So that would consist of having a server locally there. It's got copies of all of your content, and it would go ahead and you would type in the IP address here. And instead of going online to dev.worldpossible, it would go to your local server. And so now if I click the install, it's going to add all of those modules which we put on that modules file. So if you've got a bunch of different, I don't know, like deployment scenarios, or you've got certain people you want getting certain content or things like that, you can just build these modules files for it. And that's a super quick way to get them all installed on your machine. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the basics to Content Shell. Again, if I go back to the admin, you'll see that there's more modules here now. There's a greater ability to do version control. And then you'll see in the modules here, these are all actually up to date. Otherwise, it would say update now. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully Content Shell is interesting for you guys and we can be helpful. Thanks.